Hello and welcome to another special edition of the Rise stream. This is my ultimate build. I have been playing this game quite a bit and I've been streaming it quite a bit. And every time I stream it, I seem to come up with a better idea literally right after the stream ends. So basically this is what I've done in tier 14. I built most of this on stream, but I did a bunch of updates to this to kind of make it way more efficient, to where it makes more sense and there's no more clogging up of the machines. When I ended the last live stream of this, I had some issues with the backing up of the red belts and also the green belts. This has pretty much taken care of it. So I'm going to go through this in detail and show you my build of tier 14. This is all things unlocked in the game. Everything is maxed out, and the only thing I'm not using is the launcher belts because I just don't really want to use those. They're just a personal preference. I would like a more, a little more realistic build, I guess you could say. So anyways, let's take a look at it. First things first, we have these yellow belts here, and they are coming out of the 5 unlocked docks. Okay, so all 5 docks have these yellow belts coming into them, and they're all funneling into a giant zone here, which is basically kind of like our first build that we did here, just in a straight line. We have all the sorting machines. We have the good and bad. We also have the stamps. We also have the country, serial number, cargo type, weight, and contents prohibited. Now, all I have is a simple bypass here. If all the cargo is good, it comes around and just goes right out to the front here to get stamped. It wouldn't need stamped, but the other stuff does, and sorted out. So that's basically what that is. If it doesn't have a sticker on it, it goes through all the criteria here, and it goes through each little scanner. And if something is found to be wrong, like the cargo type doesn't match or the serial number's wrong, it'll go out to the red belt. If it's good, it will eventually make its way out to the green belt. So at the end of the chain of inspection points, I've used a diverter here, which diverts packages that need inspected over to the contents prohibited scanner. So this thing scans for illicit materials, but a lot of packages do not have that sticker on it. So what I've done is, after all of the other inspections, it diverts out to the green belt here, okay? And that will bypass this machine. Now, if it does have a sticker on it, it will go in here just like all of the other inspection points. I don't know if this is necessary, but I feel like it's there, so you might as well use it. Anyways, so after it is all found to be good, it will get stamped right at the end of this line, and all the lines. I made 5 lines. Each dock has its own dedicated inspection line, and then it gets sorted out. Now, the first sorter I have is a sorter that separates road, because I feel like most stuff that goes out every day is road stuff. So I have a line here dedicated to, sending out road stuff. I have it hooked up to 2 docks. So there is a road dock down here, which is also rail, but we only use it for road. And then it goes in basically a straight line in an L shape all the way down here to the other dedicated road dock as well. And what that does is that prevents any backups. I have it split down the middle here. We have 2 dedicated lines that, take the road stuff, send it that way. This one has a splitter, so if one of the lines is busier than the other, or if it's backed up for whatever reason it shouldn't be, it will get diverted that way or diverted that way on the middle one. And then the other 2 obviously just go that way. That keeps it nice and evenly split, and it sends out truck shipments, which go out every day. So that takes care of that. Then what I've done here, and this is different from my live stream build, is I've diverted this, and this goes up and over the truck belt. So everything else, plane, train, and boat shipments, all go up and over into this like kind of arced line here. So basically this arced line starts here. Okay, so plane, truck, or plane, train, and boat gets on this line. It goes down this way. This keeps things flowing. All 5 sorter lines connect to this right here, and then it loops around and then gets sorted out to the holding stations, which are these basically like racks. And then, you know, if they go out that day, they'll go out. If not, we have these pausers here. So I just pause these. So this one is train. I put train on this side because there is a dedicated train dock right there, and it is easily accessible. So we just kind of loop it right down here, and then that goes down the train line. Next thing we have in the line here is airplane, and that is because I'm sorry. No, this is boat. This should be boat. Yeah, that's boat. My bad. So yeah, this is boat, and that corresponds with the dock. I've just lined it up basically with the dock. We have 10. I use 10 racks per holding area. That seems to be enough. And basically I have all of the diverters, basically, you know, just diverting it out, separating it all evenly into the racks. And then once it's boat day, which I believe is what, Tuesdays, we can turn off this and then, turn this to green, and all of the stuff that's been saved up for the week for the boats goes in and gets sent out. So yeah, and then the last one, which we can use on this sorter right here, as it comes down the line, is planes. I have it set there. So basically this one diverts out planes and boats, and then we have none on this side. This one gets diverted the same as the other one to the boats. And actually, it is Wednesday. I'm sorry, the planes. It is Wednesday, so we can actually send plane stuff today. Very, very nice. So that'll all clear out, and the plane stuff that's been saved up for the past, 4 or 5 days, whatever, that is going to get sent down that way. That is pretty much it. It is actually a very simple setup when you think about it. It took me a long time to figure this out and get this all set up, but once I did, it was like, oh my God, this is like common sense. So the red line, let's take a quick look at the red line as well. This comes from anything that is either automatically denied, already has a denial sticker, doesn't pass one of the inspections, everything just kind of, I have all these bridges set up, and they're all linked via these joiner belts, and they get sent out. Now, these do kind of back up a little bit. I can't really think of a better way to do this, to be honest with you, but they don't back up bad enough to where it's holding up my docks. That you'll see when I get this thing running. But anyways, I do the same thing as I do with the truck belts, where it has that splitter. I use a splitter down the middle as well. For this one, half the packages basically go that way because there are 2 red denial docks. There's one down there, and there's also one right there. And then they get split up the same way that the truck one does. So that keeps it all flowing nicely. I actually had this all going out to 1 before, and it backed up. So that is why I redid it like this. And then at the end of the line, we have our stamper. So that will stamp. That is at the end of actually both lines. We got one over there, and we got one over here. And then that will get stamped to be denied, and then sent out the denial chutes. So that is basically it. It works great. The trick is to leave enough space between your sorters and your racks here to basically do all of this, because you need a lot of these bridges here. But man, it works great. I would say first, just come up with this L shape, this perfect L shape, and then just run the trucks out first. Then maybe, set all these up. Set everything up here. You will need about $700,000 to do all of this if you want to do this same build. It is very efficient. It is very expensive. So I would save up, $700,000 before you attempt that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get this running for the day. Let's get it running, and you guys can see it in action and see what I'm talking about here. So you have literally every dock has its own sorter here, okay? And everything that is going through the sorter is going to be basically sent out, via these lines and then caught up. This is gonna work really, really good. I am very, very happy with this setup. And let's just make sure we have the day. Okay, Wednesday, I believe boats need turned off. So let's just make sure boats our pausers turned off for the boats. It is a plane day, so our planes can stay on, guys. And as you can see, that is almost cleared out. So that shouldn't back up at all. So we should be good. All right. let's go over here and check this out. So as you can see, so far, all of the docks are opening and closing at the same time. That means we pretty much have had no backups at all. These lines are doing work. Now, sometimes I have found that packages do get stuck in machines. I don't know if that's a bug or meant to be like that, but sometimes you'll get some packages that get stuck, but it's no big deal. You can just kind of clear it out. It doesn't really hurt that much. It's pretty easy to see once you start getting packages, you know, but everything is flowing. This is the crazy part, is that for the most part, like, we've got a little bit of a backup, basically due to these humps here. These humps are what really screw things up. I hope the developer maybe makes some changes here, because a package has to clear the hump completely before, clear the bridge completely before the next one will go. So that seems to be the biggest bottleneck. It's definitely not a design thing, but when you have something this complex, you're going to have a lot of bridges. So it is a problem, but that is really not bad enough to slow things down. As you can see, we are already we're about 2.5 hours into our shift, and nothing has really majorly backed up yet, especially the green lines. The green lines are flowing excellently. So each one kind of has its own buffer zone as to where it comes in. You know, it comes in over these bridges, and it meets a very not busy belt, and all of them seem to be, you know, joining with the belt very, very smoothly here. There really is no issues or backups. Like I said, though, the red line, different story, because we've got so many bridges. There's just really no other way to do it. You know, at least in this build. But as you can see, they're not really backing up that much. Like, everything is still kind of flowing and moving, even 3 hours into the shift. Now, this one's definitely getting a little bit more backed up. This is the one that's like in the middle, you know, and this one's definitely starting to get backed up a little bit as well. But yeah, it's really not that bad. So yeah, if you're wondering, this build makes about 50,000 to 80,000 per day, depending on if you've got, you know, a special trip going out like planes or boats. If those are saved up, you can easily make over 80K on one of those days. And then a day where, you know, everything just kind of is flowing, or if one of the, you know, both the docks are closed, it's about 50,000. So very, very happy with this build. As you can see, we are 4 hours into the shift. All docks are still opening and closing at the same time, usually indicating that there are no backups at all. And here we are at the end of the shift. It does look like the docks have been opening and closing a bit of a mismatch. Now, here's why. We do have an issue now with a little bit of red line backup, and that is in the middle here. So it's almost in the middle here. That is due to these millions of bridges here. Obviously, there are just, you know, it's just, I wish they would kind of fix that, but maybe there would be a school of thought to where maybe we could somehow bring it out farther and maybe turn it, send it down this way. Might actually do that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, bring in another way for the packages to get to that red belt over there. Probably could be helpful. So that would be probably my only fix for this, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I really like the way this works. In theory, this should work a little bit better. The green line obviously not getting backed up. It's got a kind of a perfect spacing here. As you can see, there's the end of the shift. Everything is still flowing nicely except for these little bridges here on the red line. Once that clears out, we'll see how much we made for the day. Now, the way I space this out, this exact setup here will space out 5 times perfectly with 3 spaces away from the wall. So you got 1, 2, 3 spaces away from the wall, and then the 4th space you can start setting up. It's the exact same on this side too. So I found this out kind of by accident when I was setting this up. But yeah, you can definitely, you know, as long as you're 3 spaces away from the wall on both sides, this will be perfectly centered, and you'll have plenty of room. You know, you want to use 3 spaces from this wall as well. So the rule of 3s on this one. All right, after 442 approvals and 283 denials, as you can see, on a day where that the planes got emptied out, we made $81,000. So I've noticed that with this build, you make anywhere between a little over 50,000 to 80,000 and even above. So pretty stinking good build. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next live stream. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.